I think the boys would get expelled for the things we used to do, because there was a stackyard behind the old school.
Yeah.
And where they used to put all the sheaves of corn and make stacks.
Yeah.
And we used to nip over there dinner times, because the mice used to come out of the stacks. That's where they'd been living all the winter time, weren't they? We used to pick the little mice up, put them in a pocket, then put them in the girls' desks. They'd expel me now, wouldn't they?
Have you done any pranks in your school days?
Well, one of the things we used to do were burping competitions, because some people can burp, at will, and I'm afraid I was one of those. And we sat in the cloakrooms at Cawston School, some naughty friends and I, and we were having a burping competition. And the bell rang, and we ignored it because we were having such fun. And the headmaster, Mr. Keck, came out, and he realised what we were doing, and he was very cross. And we had to write lines as a punishment, and the lines said, "Burping is considered good manners in some eastern countries, but not in Cawston."
We used to march down to the church hall at lunchtime to have our lunch. And march back again. Great big tortoise stove in the school to keep us warm. Many a problem. A snowball fight one day with my cousin Ron again. I have mentioned him before, and it went through the head teacher's car window.
Oh no! And
I can feel it now. He got us both in there, and he said, "Right, boy, hold out your hand." And it was a cane. And he thrashed us, absolutely.
On your hands?
On the hands.
Ow. That was on the palm, was it, or the back of your hand?
On the palm.
Ow, that's good.
Having said that, it did no harm at all.
I came up to Cawston in 1968. My father decided to send me to a public school. And this was the nearest public school to Lowestoft that he felt was suitable for me, Cawston College, which was part of Cawston Manor. And I went there as a boarder from 1968 to 1975. It was started by Canon Woodard. My headmaster was John Asquith, and he was a tremendous character. Quite a disciplinarian, very religious man, so we had to go to church regularly every Sunday. And I was in the choir. It was Holy Communion. And I remember the vicar going up to the altar and offering up the cup, finishing off the wine, and suddenly the cup dropped to the ground, onto the altar there, and he had the most dreadful coughing fit. When we got back to the school, we were all called into the main school assembly room, and the headmaster came in. He was obviously very, very angry, and he said, "Gentlemen," he said, "a very serious offence happened today in the church which could have ended in a fatality for the vicar, who deposited chewing gum into the communal cup." And of course nobody owned up, and we were gated, which meant we were basically kept in the college for 4 weeks. We weren't allowed out.
I worked up Cawston College when that was a boys' school. Some of them were quite nice lads, but they were always hungry. And they would eat just a crust of bread and sprinkle salt on it. They were so hungry. The cook used to put the food all in like what you call a billy can, I suppose, and there'd be 8 boys on the table. Well, the one what was serving out, by the time that got round to that one, he ain't got any.
I was lucky enough, through the education committee, to go to Holt Hall. Now, Holt Hall was a school where you spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You didn't come home. There were 16 boys there and 16 girls. And at the age of 15, that seemed like a great proposition. And Holt Hall was situated in 72 acres of woodland on the outskirts of Holt. And that again was a fabulous time. Every morning, every single morning, whatever the weather, winter and summer, we went for a 3-mile cross-country run, back into the hall, had a cold shower, and then went in for breakfast. But I was never so fit as I was in those days. It was just amazing.
What about swimming? And did people used to do a bit of swimming around here?
No, unless you were like the boys, bunged up the beck and made it deep enough. That's how they learned to swim. Or Cawston College, we called it Cawston Manor. There's a waterfall, and that lake, a lot of children used to just jump in, do dog paddle, and then found they could use other limbs and taught themselves, and there was never a lifeguard there or anybody to get them out if they drowned.
And in fact, we had some naughty boys used to throw the darts in the ceiling. Well, they used to get the pens, a long pen on it with a nib, didn't they? And the nibs used to go into the ceiling. When we were, we had to have hats, wear our hats, summertime, Panama, summer, fella in the winter clothes, so that. And of course, if you were out in Norwich, in the city, and you got, took your hat off, you'd get a signature. I've been telling people about Miss Miller because her train went out about 5 minutes before ours. Of course, first thing we do is get in the carriage is take your hats off. Miss Miller hasn't gone past yet. Miss Miller hasn't gone past. Because if you had, you'd have got to, even if you were in the train. Her train went out, and then they brought an engine back, put on ours to go through.
Then you could take your hats off.
Then you would take your hats and your jackets off.